Okay, in this video it's just one sheet. I'm going to do the 3 in the front, you do the 1 in the back. Now you're dealing with fraction word problems. I know I know a lot of people don't like word problems as part of the class. We kind of have to go through it. So it says, I plan to budget 1/5 of each month's check on groceries. If I make $2,400 in a month, how much can I budget on groceries? Basically, it's asking you, how much can I spend on groceries? So I'm going to make a little, you don't have to draw this, but 1/5, and this might seem kind of elementary what I'm doing, but it will help you understand the concept, okay? What I have, this is my paycheck. Now, 1/5 means I would split it up into fifths, so there's 5 pieces. And this little part here, I spend on groceries, okay? Now, if it says 2/5, I'd spend these 2 parts on groceries and so forth. So that's what a fraction essentially is. Very similar to a percent, it's just written in a different form. Okay, now you're going to make a proportion. That's 2 equal ratios. And what you put on this first proportion is simply the fraction, 1/5. You don't put 100% because it's not a percent problem, it's a fraction. Now over here I do want to see some labels, okay? The top is the part that's spent on groceries, so label this part right here on groceries. That's the top. Now the bottom is what's known as your total. That would be your total money. So you're talking money here. It says I plan to budget 1/5 of each month's check on groceries. If I make $2,400 in a month, how much can I budget on groceries? Okay. Now the question is on top, do I know how much money is spent on groceries? Okay. Am I able to tell people how much money I'm going to be spending on groceries? It wouldn't be $2,400 because doesn't say that's spent on groceries. That's how much money I make in a month. Okay. So that will not go for groceries, so I don't know how much is spent on groceries. And the question I'm trying to figure out is how much can I spend budget on groceries, okay? So 2,400 is my total, so I put that right there. And again, I want to see you put total and then on groceries, please. I've circled what to write on the top, okay, to help you out. So I'm going to do my diagonal products. So on this side, 5 times x, it's written as 5x. Then on the other side, I take 1 times 2,400, and that's just 2,400. Then I divide the equation by 5. And that gives me my solution, okay? So 2,400 divided by 5 is going to be 480. So that's how much I spend on groceries. Okay. Okay, so basically what I've just figured out is this total thing, the total here is 2,400. This 1/5 that I'm going to spend is the 480. Okay, so I split into fifths, 480. Just like that. You don't. If the picture is confusing to you, just don't kind of throw it out. Okay, 4/5 of the student body was present at an assembly. That means they were at an assembly. If 160 people were at the assembly, how many students are there in school? Okay, so 4/5. I line that up right here. Now I want to see labels here. On top, you put what I've wrote in the circle. You just copy that down. Was present at in assembly. And down here you're going to put total. Okay, so in this picture right here, now I'd again split it into fifths. But now it's not 1/5, it's 4/5, so I would shade 4 of them in. And that 4/5 is how many were present at the assembly. This is my total number of students outside. This plus this plus this plus this is the 4/5. Now, how many students were at the assembly? This time we do know how many students were at the assembly. We have a number to put there. It's going to be 160 because it says 160 were at the assembly. It's asked me how many students are there in the school, so that's me figuring out the total. So now, here I was putting 2,400 in the total because, again, it's all about the top. If I wasn't, right here I didn't know how much I spent on groceries, okay? The problem never told me how much money I was going to spend on groceries, so I put X. Here the problem does tell us how many were present at the assembly, okay? We know that, 160. So now that changes the game a little bit. Here's my X, diagonal from 4, so that'd be 4X on this side. And on the other side, I take 5 times 160, and that's 800. And then I divide by 4. Or 800 divided by 4 is 200. So you can put 200 right there, and that's how many total students we have. Okay, third one. A man spends 1/4 of his paycheck on rent. If he spends $550 each month on rent, how much does he make? Okay, so 1/4 is the fraction. And please, you want to label this. By the way, I'll even label these over here. I don't really care if you do over here, but again, the 1 means on rent. So over here is also on rent. And then total and total. Now, how much money was actually spent on rent? If I don't know, I put X. If I do know, I put the number I given. So I'll read through it again. A man spends 1/4 of his paycheck on rent. If he spends $550 each month on rent, oh, he did spend $550 on rent. Okay, so I know how much he did on rent, $550. And then later it asked me how much does he make, so that would be his total. Okay, so then I go here, or I'll do that right there. That's 1 times X is 1X. Then I take 4 times 550, 2,200, then we divide by 1, okay? So X equals $2,200, okay? Don't freak out about the labels. Just know how to put. So again, I'll reiterate what I was saying. On groceries, I don't know how much money was on groceries. I don't have a number, an actual money amount for the on groceries. Okay. By the way, if you place a fraction, you cross it out and forget it. But if I'm not able to put a number for how much was on groceries, I put X, because that's what we use as a variable. Was present at the assembly. Here I did know how many were present at the assembly is 160, okay? X right there then. Here I did know how much was spent on rent, 550, so X right there. Okay, do the 2 problems on the back, do the best job you can. I know they're kind of confusing as far as what to put where, but again, I kind of explained it. Might not be the greatest, just do your best you can do.